Well, there's a story here that caught my attention today, and it's really as bad as it gets, I would say. It's it's definitely typical of the direction that the whole world is going. So, this happened in England. It's not America, but it's pretty safe to say whatever's happening there is not too different than what's happening around most of the Western world. So, I mean, this video, what they say is shocking but not surprising. So I'll just play it for you real quick here.
Can I please ask you to step away from here and step outside the exclusion zone?
This is outside
You
of
said
an
you're
abortion
engaging in
clinic.
prayer, which is the offence. No, but you are still engaging in prayer. It is an offence. Okay then. So you would rather that you be arrested and taken away than stand outside the exclusion zone? Is that what you're saying? Yes.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, so this guy is telling her, you're in this exclusion zone outside of an abortion facility where you're not allowed to be within a certain parameter of it. Otherwise, you're offensive and dangerous to them. Maybe you might be putting lives at stake. How ironic. And then right after this happened, it says that British Parliament passes a law banning silent prayers outside abortion centers. So, in case you were not sure that whether this was a spiritual war or not, this is how scared these people are of prayer. Silent prayers. The devil knows. He knows what we're doing. He obviously can tell when we're praying. And this is just yet another reason for advocating for extreme measures to be taken. This whole freedom thing, freedom of religion, freedom to do what you want, secularizing government and society it just makes so little sense for all of us. Especially, you should understand this if you're a Catholic. What's more important? And it really comes down to whether or not you value this more, the governments, the revolutions, everything that's happened since 1700s, or the divine law, God's law. You'll hear me advocating for a Catholic monarchy. Now, I think that's the best way to go about it, but as long as we have a government that does value the divine law, that is the main thing. God and the divine law, and declaring Christ as king. And everything follows from there. If you're not willing to do that, this is what we're going to get used to seeing a lot, is these secular governments protecting things like abortion, things like the LMNOP mob. This evil just spreading more and more, and it's not going to stop no matter how nicely we ask them. There's no agreements where we can meet in the middle first of all, we can't do that. That's you can't. Something can't be sort of right, sort of true. It is true or it's not. So we can't meet in the middle. And even if we could, they're not going to either. That's why we need a strong Catholic government that will squash this, pound it into oblivion, and don't let it continue. Otherwise, you give them an inch. You've heard this one plenty of times before. You give them an inch and they'll take a mile. And they have taken many miles. So it's time we put our foot down. And it's a long way to go. But I am not tolerating this anymore. This is disgusting. This is degenerate. And this is clearly the work of the devil. And I am not okay with it. None of us should be okay with it. So I'm sure I'll catch a lot of flack about this whole Catholic government, Catholic monarchy thing. But just ask yourself, if you're a Christian, what do you value more? This modern governmental system of freedom and liberty that you hold to such high honor, or whatever you would say, worship even? Or does God come first? God is truth, and truth cannot be bargained with about. It is or it isn't. So, not the most pleasant topic that I would have liked to talk about, but this is something that really caught my attention, and I think a lot of people need to see this because it is, I mean, it's just constantly getting worse. And trying to meet in the middle, trying to be nice about it, is not going to work. You need force with this kind of evil. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. So, God bless.